Today we'll be seeing about the chapter 3, landforms and life in SST, which is exploring society, India and beyond. Free from the burden of human beings made the earth with many heights, slopes, great plains, bearing plants, and with varied powers, spread out forests and show us her riches. The earth is my mother and I am her child. And this is a saying which is written by Atharva Veda, Bhumi Sutta, him delivered. Let's see. Now let's go inside the chapter. First, it's an introduction. Like they're just telling the landforms in life, like the humans, mammals, and birds and animals like this. And they're also telling some plains and plateaus in Uttar Pradesh, Prayagraj, Jharkhand, Nagpur, Uttarakhand. It's like that. Okay. Next, we will first see the heading known as mountains. Mountains are landforms that are much higher than surrounding earth. Mountains have some snow caps because as they grow, they become very high and the clouds pass by. So, snow is created on their top. They can be recognized by broad base, steep slopes, and narrow summit, depending on the height. Some mountains are covered with snow at lower altitudes. Now, as they go lower, they will get snow cap. But some lower altitude mountains have snow cap. And the altitude meaning is the height of an object above sea level. Examples: the altitude of a mountain, the altitude of a bird or a plane in a flight, the altitude of a satellite. They can differ. Now, let's see. Other highlands with a lower height, less steep slopes, and rounded tops. They are called. Please answer. Which? Okay, let me answer. They are called hills. Now, let's think about it. There is a section where we think about it. Okay, I will read it, and there's one question. You can answer it. Okay, what is snow? I told you about snow caps, but what is snow? Please answer. Now, you won't recognize what's a snow unless you live in Himalayan region, Kashmir, Ladakh, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Sikkim, or Arunachal Pradesh. You may never have seen snow. In the rest of India, most precipitation is in the form of rain, hail, but at higher altitudes, if it is cold enough, snow will fall. When it is so much cold in India, the snow will be created and will fall. But it won't be when it is summer or monsoon. It will only be rain and hot. Guys, we'll be passing 4 minutes, guys. Let's continue, guys. Where were we? Yeah, think about it. But at higher altitudes, if it is cold enough, snow will fall, covering the landscape in a soft and beautiful white blanket. You know, guys, there is a white desert. It is made out of salt. Because when the waves hit, it just rises above. So the salt was created and became a desert. It's known as the White Desert. It was literally very brownish, sandish and desert. Now it is known as the White Desert. Okay guys, let's see. Snow and hailstones are nothing but a precipitation of water in a solar system. Now, let's see the meaning of precipitation. Water from the atmosphere reaching the ground in any form. For example, rain, snow, and hail are the most common forms of precipitation. So, hail, we saw hail. What is rain? And what is snow? That is your work. We actually asked what is snow. You could have answered in the comment box. And your work is to say what is a hail, rain, or what is snow. Now, let's see how many mountains are there. 6. 6 mountains are there. 1. First, Mount Everest. It is the tallest one. It is 9,000 meters. It's a difficult name. It is 7,000 meters. And Mount Kilimanjaro, it is 6,000 meters. And Mount Blanc, it is 4,000 meters. Mount Kanchenjunga is 8,000 meters, almost to Mount Everest. Mount Anamudi is the least. It is 1,000 or 2,000 meters. And one interesting fact about mountains. Young mountains grow 1 centimeter in a year. For example, these which I told are very, very young. And there were many old mountains who walked in such beauty. And most of the world's mountains are grouped in mountain ranges. And you know mountain ranges? Please, this is also a work. Okay? This is the Himalayas in Asia, the Alps in Europe, and the Andes in South America. These are some of the examples. Some of these ranges stretch for thousands of kilometers. Okay? Now, Mount Everest between Tibet and China and Nepal. And Kanchenjunga between Nepal and the Indian state of Sikkim are the 2 highest peaks of the Himalayan range. Okay. Mount Aconcagua in South America is the highest peak of the Andes. Mount Kilimanjaro in Eastern Africa is an isolated mountain that is not part of any range. I have told you the place where it belongs, and the mountains, what mountains are they? For example, Mount Everest and Kanchenjunga. As I said, they are the 2 highest peaks of the Himalayan range. So, we are talking about Himalayan range. For example, like this, these Kanchenjunga and Mount Everest. Then let's see about Mount Aconcagua in South America. That is the highest peak of the Andes. You know what that is? Yeah. Please consider it as a work. Okay. Then Mount Kilimanjaro in Eastern Africa is an isolated mountain that is not part of any range. Mount Kilimanjaro and it's also an isolated mountain. Please remember that, because every mountain are not isolated. I think so. I think let's see. Mont Blanc in Western Europe is the highest mountain of the Alps. Oh yeah. Mont Blanc. It is the 4,000 meter. Just 4,000 meter, but they are saying it is the highest mountain of the Alps. Anamudi, the hilly one. Let's see that. In Kerala, also known as Anai Peak. Yeah, Anai Peak. I went there. If you want, you can see in my YouTube channel shorts. What is that? An old. It's the highest mountain in South India. Okay. Now we'll see about the old ones. Okay, mountains with tall and sharp peaks like the Himalayas are relatively young. As I told you guys, when mountains are tall and their edge is sharp and have snow caps, they get hit and become old, and sharpness will get very decreased. So when they have very sharp and tall mountains are called young. For example, like the Himalayan mountains. Now, right? Then, as old ones, they get hit by the clouds, snow, and their peaks will cut off and go down, which will decrease them. And for example, their Aravalli range, I think is many years, much older. Yeah. Now, let's see about Mount Environment. As I said, the interesting fact is Himalayas are still growing height. They grow 1 centimeter per year. 1 centimeter equals to dash million years. That's your work. Mountain environment. Don't search Google. Mountain environment. Mountain slopes are often covered with a type of forest called montane forest, where conifer trees such as pines, firs, spruce, and deodar are common. These conifer trees were tall in cone shape with thin pointed leaves. At higher altitudes, the trees give way to grasses, mosses, and lichen. Okay, the mountains both are often covered with type of forest called montane forest. Okay, and the trees give way to grass, mosses, and lichen. These are nice. And let's see about the different animals which live in different mountains. We'll see. First, peregrine falcon. Next, Himalayan thar, mountain hat, golden eagle, Canadian lynx. Yeah, that's type of one. It's actually mixed. No, I think it's a myth. Yaks, ibex, gray fox, leopard, and black bear. I have seen black bear. And because saying it, I have seen in videos. Black bear, leopard, gray fox are common. Jackals are common. Yak is just a type of a buffalo. Okay, then let's see. Difference left in the mountains. Yeah. And I forgot to tell meanings of montane forest, mosses, and lichen. Montane forest, a type of forest that grows in mountains region. Oh yeah, like forest. See, in usual we see forest, but in mountains they call us montane forest. And moss, small green plant without flowers or grow roots, often spreading in a cushion-like cover. Yeah, it's like a waste plant, but they use for cushions, like this cushion I'm sitting on. Adlection, a pan-like organism that generally clings to rocks, walls, or trees. Yeah, I think it's a plant which stays or gets attached to wall, rocks, or trees. Okay, and that's it. I've told you the meanings. And now, Latin mountains. The mountain terrain is usually rugged or rough and has steep slopes. Okay, this means that regular farming is tough. And also the regular farming can only be practiced in some valleys, specific valleys. Okay, now let's see slopes by cutting steps into the slope. And they have doing tourist farming. In many mountain regions of the world, herding is the preferred occupation over agriculture. Tourism is often an important source of income for the people living in the mountains. The crisp mountain. Crisp means the tall and sharp mountains. They are the crisp mountain app and scenic beauty attract many tourists. Yeah, like ours. Tourists visit there, so they get attracted by scenic beauty. Some tourists do some sports like skiing, hiking, mountaineering, and paragliding. For many centuries, people have also traveled to these uplands for pilgrimages. Okay, let's see the next page. Yeah, next page. Oh wait, I forgot to tell the meanings. Yeah, terrain. It's a piece or a stretch of land from the point of view of its physical features. When you see from above, you think it's very small, but when you land there, it will be very big. Valley, the lower area between hills or mountains, often with a river or a stream flowing through it. I think they do irrigation in valleys, and it can be only done in a specific valleys. Okay. They have told how mountains, how they collide. What if happened? What if we happen to the mountains and this happens? So the next topic will be flooding. So we'll just see the examples. Flash flood, landslide, uncontrolled tourism. Yeah, this is very common. Avalanche, heavy snowfall, cloudburst, cold weather. Flash flood, a sudden local flood often caused by a cloudburst. Okay, now let's see the meaning of cloudburst. A sudden violent rainstorm. Okay, so this causes the next mountain to flash flood. This is actually illegal, but the earth decides it. Landslide, the sudden collapse of a mass of earth or rock from a mountain side. Okay, landslide is a rock which rolls down and becomes, well, a mass collapse, that's it. Avalanche, the sudden fall of a snow, ice or rocks. That's the avalanche. And plateaus. Plateau is a landform that rises up from the land and has a more or less flat surface. Some of its sides are often steep slopes, like mountains.